This is a rally today on the steps of the Supreme Court to simply ask the Supreme Court to direct the appeals court to hear our case. And we've got a few speakers here that I would like to introduce. Darryl Mooch will be up first. He's from the Green Party. Wes Benedict will follow, Executive Director of the Libertarian Party. Bruce Fine is our attorney filing this case, and if I may paraphrase, Bruce's claim to fame is that he brought Nixon down in Watergate, and he happens to tell everybody that this is the biggest thing he's ever done in his life, this lawsuit. This lawsuit has the potential of changing politics in America. This is really a big deal. So we're also looking for people to donate, which you'll probably hear time and time again during this rally, but it's important. $50 may make a big difference if it actually does change politics in America. Then you'll hear a few words from myself, and wrapping up will be Larry Sharpe, currently a Libertarian Party member running for governor of New York. So let's start it off with Darryl Mooch.
Thank you, Governor Johnson.
And it's Darryl Mooch. I am sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Governor Johnson. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. I'm Darryl Mooch, and I am a co-chair, national co-chair of the U.S. Green Party. And if we believe in freedom, we cannot rest until it comes. Until we drop the hammer on this monopoly that the Dems and Republicans have on our ability to get our message out to the world, and particularly to U.S. citizens who have the right to know who are on ballots that they can vote for, who stands for what they stand for. Andra Day has a song out that says "Rise Up," and it inspires me to work towards ending the political merry-go-round that keeps spinning around and around no matter what part of the duopoly is in control, and it's spinning us and the country in circles. There is no constitutional provision for political parties. Instead, this is a two-party racket. There is nothing in the Constitution that says there has to be a two-party system. In fact, what the parties are doing is making sure that our voices are not heard, making sure that people are not able to exercise their civil liberty and their responsibility as American citizens to be able to vote for the people of their choice by knowing the facts and the information of what they bring to us. Restricting the debates to the corporate money parties ensures that the corporate sponsors of both parties, Wall Street, fossil fuels, insurance companies, big pharma, and war profiteers, will be the real winners of any debate, and the people lose every time. We're tired of it. We're tired of it because we keep getting the same old stuff over and over and over again. Democracy only wins when we all are able to raise our voices and be heard. When each of our candidates in every political party are able to share their message with the world and with this country, we win. John Legend has a song that says, "If you're out there." So I'm saying today, I believe that you're out there. We're here, and we believe that you're out there. And if you're out there, we're going to ask you to raise your voice. We're going to ask you to support by getting involved in your local and state communities, by making sure that you are pushing your representatives to push for open and fair debates. We are asking you to get involved, to raise your voice with contributions to help this lawsuit work for all of us as we drop the hammer and break the shackles of silence. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. I'm Darryl Mooch, and I'm the national co-chair, one of the national co-chairs of the U.S. Green Party, and we're standing with you, we're standing with America, and we are fighting to make sure that all of you are able to exercise your rights and be able to know who is representing you.
Thanks, Darryl.
I'm Wes Benedict, Executive Director of the Libertarian Party. Libertarians want to make America more prosperous, friendlier, and fairer for everyone, and we think we can deliver that with free markets, civil liberties, and peace. Libertarians welcome good conservatives and good liberals. We welcome people of faith who are motivated by love, who use persuasion rather than government force to achieve their values. Libertarians reject the type of twisted religious ideologues who are motivated by hate and ignorance, who would throw peaceful marijuana users in jail, and who are quicker to go to war than to forgive their enemies. Libertarians are disappointed that Republicans never, ever cut government spending. Libertarians welcome creatives, idealists, and the unenvious who step up and do work that helps other people, but who avoid using government power that forces others to help. Libertarians are disappointed by the number of modern wars started by both Democrats and Republicans. Americans are disgusted with our president, our Congress, the Republican Party, and the Democratic Party. They want more choices. As it happens, there are more choices, and good organizations like the League of Women Voters and many news outlets give libertarians and other underdogs a fair chance. They include libertarians in debates for campaigns that include everything from governor and Congress down to local offices, but not for president. Ross Perot was allowed to debate, but that turned the National Republican and Democratic parties into a bunch of chickens. It's time to break apart the corrupt two-party presidential debate system and to open up the process so that it includes libertarians, greens, and independents. Recent presidential debates have lacked substance. I didn't care whether Hillary Clinton planned the invasion of Libya using her personal email or her government email account. Instead, I wanted a libertarian to get the chance to explain why our government should have stayed the hell out of Libya altogether. I don't care whether our president tweets too much. I do care whether he abuses his power, violates civil liberties, and lacks even the most basic economic literacy. The Libertarian Party is the third largest political party in America. We don't have loads of favors to hand out. We fight because we care. In 2016, the Libertarian Party fielded not only the most qualified presidential ticket in our party's history, but also the most qualified ticket of any party in the 2016 presidential race. That was Governor Gary Johnson and Governor Bill Weld. Today we're on the steps of the Supreme Court asking for help. But whether we win or lose this battle for the presidential debates, Libertarians vow to field our largest nationwide army of candidates ever in 2018, and we won't be stopped from providing a better choice for America because of the tricks and barriers placed in our way by the two old parties. Visit LP.org to find out more about libertarian solutions to the nation's problems. You'll hear much more of that explained in front of a national audience when libertarians are included in the presidential debates. Again, that's LP.org. And also, to contribute to this fair debates lawsuit, we need your help. Click on the links down below in this Facebook post and contribute to help us fight with this particular lawsuit. Thank you very much.
My name is Bruce Fine, and to alert you all, the three most important words in the Constitution of the United States are the first three. We, the people of the United States. We are sovereign. And it was Edward R. Murrow who said, however, a people of sheep get a government of wolves. Well, we surely have a government of wolves, so what does that indicate with regard to the people? Too much complacency. Now, one of the problems we have with regard to the domination of our politics by the two-party system is we have complete philosophical stagnation when it comes to serious debate. We have not had in 70 years any debate about our being run by the multi-trillion-dollar military-industrial counterterrorism complex. Multi-trillion dollars. It creates the permanent warfare state that absorbs over $1 trillion a year, that then spins off into the surveillance state, that then spins off to the bailout state, trillions of dollars on Wall Street, and the big banks and the big companies. Well, the ordinary person gets nothing. Then we get the welfare state, risk-free existence, and then we fall to our demise, as we no longer have liberty as our lodestar, but wealth and comfort. That's not the stuff that made the United States independent in 1776. It's not the stuff of Valley Forge, not the stuff of Cemetery Ridge or Omaha Beach. But that's where we are, in part because our politics is stagnant. Stagnant. That's where the parties are unified on the most important issues we confront. Are we a country about liberty, or are we a country about dominating and controlling everything that moves in the globe because we want to tell other people how to live? Now, we brought this lawsuit because one of the ways in which the two major parties try to entrench themselves and continue to dominate is by excluding any candidates for presidency other than their own nominees from the Super Bowl of politics, which is the presidential debates. The parties call the presidential debates the Super Bowl of politics. So we brought a pioneering case under the antitrust laws, and we argued, which I think is self-evident to everyone standing here, and where our office is nearby Trump International Hotel, that the process of campaigning for the presidency is a business. It's $1 billion business. Everybody knows that. The amount of money that's raised, they sell T-shirts, caps, it's a business. And yet the court said, well, no, it's politics. Well, politics has now become synonymous with business. I mean, how can anybody open their eyes and not see that? They could have just looked outside their own courthouse window on Constitution Avenue and 4th Street. But the law says it's backward-looking, it's kind of novel. Well, it's never been done before, and therefore you have a backward-looking discipline that finds it very difficult to have the law conform to reality. It took them 40 years to understand that intercepting phone conversations invaded your privacy. Literally 40 years. Everybody had all gone beyond that behind the court, caught up with reality. So we brought the lawsuit, and unfortunately the court concluded that, no, politics is separate from business, conclusory. And so we never had our day in court to try to demonstrate that the Republican Democratic parties, they purposely collude. We actually had a 20-page agreement between President Obama and candidate Romney that they would themselves decide that no one could participate in the presidential debates who, if their cronies in the polling industry didn't tell them they had reached a 15% threshold, not a threshold of the American people wanting them in the debate. On that score, they could have had 80% of the American people or 100%. That doesn't count. If they think that the candidate would be elected to the presidency, they would satisfy the 15% threshold, even if the name wasn't on the polling that was given to the recipients. Not only that, the two candidates agreed that they would not ever participate with any other presidential candidate in any format whatsoever, a collective boycott, because they wouldn't want to give prominence to someone else with a different viewpoint. And also, if you look at the 2012 presidential debates, you'll find chronic same answers by both Obama and Romney. Oh, I agree with you, I agree with you, I agree with you. Well, it's supposed to be about debate where there's differences. They're all marching to the same drummer, because the political dynamism in the United States of America today, come back, It's the military-industrial counterterrorism complex that then breeds the bailout state and the surveillance state. Everybody's on the same page. The American people don't have any choices out there. That's why you get the same old, same old, same old. Doesn't matter whether a Republican in office, whether a Democratic office, the same things happen. More war, more spending, more debt, more regulation, less liberty. So that's what this lawsuit is about. It's not going to be a panacea. Even if we win, it doesn't solve all the problems, but at least it would open up the political system, not for the Libertarian Party, for any party, for the American people to be better informed about what real choices are. That's what it's about. It's about the people and the voters, not the candidates. They serve you, not the other way around. That was so revolutionary about our country. The government serves the people. The people censure the government doesn't censure the people. Until we get that right, we're going to continue to roll right towards the cliff and drop off the empire cliff like all others. Now I'll surrender to the successor.
Bruce Fein in front of the Supreme Court. I think that would be a one-sided argument. Anyway, Bruce, really fabulous that you are doing this. And he ended it by saying that this is for everybody. This is not about the Green Party. This isn't about the Libertarian Party. It's not about independence. It's about giving other voices in this process. And this is a rigged game. And the Presidential Debate Commission is really at the heart of why it's rigged. You know what they say? They say that you have to be at 15% in the polls to be in the debates. You know what? I have never had a problem with being at 15% in the polls. My problem was always, how about that I be in the polls? And 99.9% of all polls only showed Americans two candidates. And let's not forget that the majority of Americans right now, when they register to vote, are registering as independent or declining to commit to being a Republican or a Democrat. So this is such a rigged game. And I have to tell you that this has all sorts of opportunities to change things. The Presidential Debate Commission voluntarily can change, and they might do that as a result of the fact that everybody's recognized that the emperor wears no clothes and it's not pretty. So this is really huge. Being able to donate to this cause, this is not cheap to be able to do this at all. And just for a few dollars, for maybe $50, you can change politics in America by contributing to this. I will tell you, having run as a Republican for President of the United States, that you show up in New Hampshire and you show up in Iowa. And the first thing that happens is basically you're in a room with a whole bunch of activists, and what those activists say, in the case of New Hampshire, in the case of Iowa, is the root of all evil in this country is illegal immigration. That's what they say. Well, it was my voice in 2012 that said, no, that's not the case. But when you have a system like it is, both Democrats and Republicans have to kowtow to the extremes on both ends of their party, to the activists that are absolutely right-wing or absolutely left-wing, when the majority of us are really all in the middle. We're about good governance. I don't believe we are a country that wants to be safe above all else. I believe we're a country that really does embrace freedom and liberty and the ability to choose our own directions in life. And yet the Democrat and the Republican parties, they are so lockstep in everything it is that they do, that this is what we're about here today, is just the ability for Americans to hear another voice. And I'm not the candidate, all right? I'm not running for political office ever again. I was really disappointed by our results in the last election and realized that, okay, I'm not the spokesman, and yet I still believe fervently today that my voice was reflective of the majority of Americans, but didn't have the opportunity to really make that happen. And the opportunity, look, if you're not in the presidential debates, you're not running for president. And there needs to be some criteria, right? You can't let everybody that's running for president be in the presidential debates. How about a criteria of being on the ballot in all 50 states? Which, I mean, there can be some milestones. There needs to be some milestones. But if it's 15% in the debates, come on. Include the name in the debates. If somebody's on the ballot in all 50 states, you can imagine, all right, you look at the newspaper, it's the Democrat, it's the Republican, it's the Democrat, that's the Republican. Well, you know what, if another name appeared on there, by about the 10th time you'd go, oh, gee, I better check that out. That's how things can change with this lawsuit. I want to thank all of you for being here. I cannot thank you enough. I can't thank all those that are watching this on Facebook Live enough. And like I say, if you can see it in your heart to donate a few bucks to this cause, let's unleash Bruce Fine and see what happens. And Larry Sharpe is going to wrap all this up. Thank you all very much.
Oh, Governor Johnson, I love that man. He is my hero. He is someone that I look up to. He is someone that, through his time as an entrepreneur, through his time as governor, through his time as a candidate, he's always been concerned about three specific things. Always. He's always been concerned about better choice, about new ideas, and about moving forward. And that's what this is about. It's about giving us better choices, about letting new ideas come out, and about us as a nation moving forward past what we have right now. Now, we don't always get that. Not always in our personal life or in our business life. We don't always get that. And that's terrible. We should. How can we get innovation? How can we move forward if we don't get more choices? If the voices aren't heard, as people up here have said before. Let me tell you something. I remember when I was maybe about 10 years ago, I'm watching TV. I'm watching cable, some reality TV show with my wife. And we're watching a show. It's like a Survivor or something like that. And the reception is terrible. It's horrible reception. I'm so mad. I said, that's it. I'm getting rid of this cable company. Can you do that? No. You can't, can you? No. You can't. But wait a minute. There's only one cable company in every city, right? But there's more than one cable company in the country, right? What is that? That's called the cartel. We don't like cartels, do we? Nope. That's a cartel system. And they had bad service, and my wife felt trapped. She said, oh my God, this is terrible, and we can't do anything about it. And we feel trapped in this duopoly. I have these two people, really? That's all I got? We feel trapped. But I told her we're not really trapped. We did satellite. There was satellite. So we took up satellite. Awesome, I love that. Satellite, good. Well, guess what? A few years later, satellite. Only one satellite company in my city. So again, I'm unhappy. What can I do? Well, I have two kids. 2 young daughters, and they said, Daddy, how about Netflix? How about YouTube? And all of a sudden now I have yet another choice. And what begins to happen? Cable gets better. Satellite gets better. Netflix gets better. That is what we have right now in our world. If we make this happen, the politicians will have to get better. The system will have to get better because there'll be more choices. That's what this is really about. It's about more choices. Better choices, breaking a cartel system, and of course, getting us to move forward. So I'm going to ask you if I could. Do you want to break the cartels? Yes! Then we have to support Our America initiative. Do we want to stop feeling trapped? Yes! Then we have to support Our America initiative. We have to support them today, now. Do we want better choices? Yes. Then we have to support Our America initiative. We have to. That's what it takes to make that happen. Do we actually want to move this country forward? Do we want to do that? Yes. Our America initiative. I want you right now to go to ouramericainitiative.com, click on the button that says contribute. If you can give $500, that's amazing. $5, that's amazing. $50, we'll give you a t-shirt. Come on, a t-shirt, isn't that great? You don't like the t-shirt, that's bad? T-shirts good. 500, 5, or 50. Head on to OurAmericaInitiative.com. Click on contribute right now. We need $100,000 for us to move this forward. $100,000. Can we do it? Of course we can. If you do it right now, OurAmericaInitiative.com. Click 500, 5, or 50. We can make this happen. Remember, it's about better choices. It's about new ideas. It's about moving our country forward. Thank you.